And for that purpose, many things are taking place, like Krishna is also working on the background. We are working here like small attempts, humble attempts, but the big working is going on in the background. And I think this is our great fortune. Like Balihara was saying this so beautiful, that there's a miracle when in Kali Yuga, all the brothers and sisters are fighting like cats and dogs in every mission. So it's a miracle, and sometimes people from many missions say, hey, we don't want to fight at all. We want to work together, we want to help each other. Let's find out, you have something. Like for example, this book, I just give you an example. These are the songs of our holy masters. This is a song book which has practically most of the songs of our Sampradaya, but with a translation poetically in English. And produced by a devotee who's bedridden, Gaur Sundar. He had an accident, he's paralyzed totally, but he's lying in the back, he's 24 years old now, and he's working to make things for the Vaishnavas, for increasing their joy. And if you read the poetry, at least to my little understanding of English poetry, it's fantastic. So this thing, they didn't make for one mission. As a matter of fact, they are belonging to, he's a disciple of Narayan Maharaj, and when they published this book, they came to us and they donated us 300 books. Says, have all the Vaishnavas have it. So even including a very generous approach that everybody should have this work. This is, to my understanding, the spirit of the World Vaishnava Association. So, because, for example, in South America, we are singing in Spanish or Portuguese bhajans. This is not all the missions are familiar with that possibility, but I personally got Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Puri Maharaj, who are two orthodoxies amongst our line, to comment on that. And they were completely fired up. He said, yeah, that's what we're doing in India all the time. In Punjab, we are singing Punjabi style. In Manipuri, we're singing Manipuri bhajan. Everywhere, this is already going on. And then he said, it's just important that the translator has an adhikar, that he has an understanding of what is this really, to be able to translate that spirit of the acharyas. So in this way, it was, for me, it was one of the greatest joys to receive that book, because, you know, we can also sing English, many people understand, and like this, it brings the songs much closer to the ones who are meditating upon them every day. So that this is one example, no? How we can share with each other what has been accomplished by one mission. And one of the greatest miracles in the world is that the devotees do wonders, but in the next temple of the same mission, they never find out about it. It's something. This, what we are doing here, the kind of a Vaishnava trade fair. I mean, not from the word trade, but from the word fair. A Vaishnava information fair of what wonders they are doing. It is necessary. It is because we just, we don't know. We may never find out what wonderful things are there, what somebody else has done. So, therefore, we invited also Urmila, because she's a very wonderful devotee to begin with, but when we met in India, she showed me her incredible efforts for the education of the children, which is always neglected. I think children books is the least promoted of the elements in many missions, and something which is so urgent because it's our own children to educate them Krishna consciousness. So I invite her to make a presentation of what she has been doing as a scholar of education. She's a doctorate, and she has made some great efforts for producing material, but she better explain it herself and show it to you. And because she has made it available to all languages in the future, then one shot benefits all. That's kind of the idea I got there. Could you please?
Do you want me to present it?
Yes.
I was reading recently that Bhaktivinoda Thakur had wanted, and he had actually written by hand a program for educating children, but it's no longer existent. And so, of course, Prahlad Maharaj is telling us how important it is to practice Krishna consciousness from the beginning. And one difficulty we've had, I think in many missions, they think about starting a school. And sometimes there are small schools started. But when you have a school, what materials are you going to use for teaching? Then you have to use the materials from the outside society. And in education, we say there are 4 levels of teaching. One is what you plan to teach, the planned teaching, the actual teaching, the hidden teaching, and what we call the null or the zero teaching. Okay? So planned teaching is what you say you're going to teach. Usually that's just to impress people. The teaching is what you actually teach. Hidden teaching is what you teach by your behavior, the rules that you have, the illustrations in the books, the values in the materials, what kind of people you hire as teachers, and the zero curriculum is what you don't talk about. And the 2 things that have the most influence are what you don't talk about and what is hidden, the subtle curriculum. So if you look through books in training children, and I have looked through hundreds or thousands of them, then you'll see that they are giving a very materialistic message. And many times that message is subtle. So all of the families in all of the books are just middle-class people living in suburbia with a dog, and maybe now we're having multiculturalism in the West. So maybe some of the books show people in, ladies in a sari eating dokla. But otherwise they're living in suburbia, they have a middle-class lifestyle, they have a dog, they're going to the mall. There's nothing spiritual. So for the last 3 years, we've been working with about 200 devotees, mostly ISKCON, but we've also been working with people from other missions. And we've been able, by Krishna's grace, we're now at the final stages of producing the first professional level teaching materials for children to learn how to read English. And this could also, of course, be used for an adult to learn how to read English. It's about 2 years' worth of instruction in reading and speaking English. So it consists of 42 storybooks. I just have a few samples. Hold this one. Thank you. No, yeah, like I'm eating it practically. So it starts very beginning. This is a very, very beginning book. Just like Krishna is the sun, Krishna is the moon, Krishna is the water, all from Bhagavad Gita. Very, very simple. Krishna is the seed. Krishna is the friend. And Krishna is the Lord. I can pass it, I do need to get this back, but we can. Hare Krishna. You can look at that. And we're also promoting ecological values, simple living, taking care of cows. So one of our simple books also is just about taking care of cows. A cow gets a hug, a cow gets water, a cow gets food, a cow gets a blanket, cows get milk. Now you can see at the last page of these books, it lists the systems we're using to teach. And these books are coordinated with all of the international systems for teaching reading. So it's using 2 British systems, 1 American system, and 1 New Zealand system. Actually, the New Zealand system is the most accepted international system. And we work with 2 of the top 5 reading experts in the world, and who reviewed all of our materials, gave us training, and has been working with us every step. Then, after beginning books, we start on an actual story. And here we're starting to teach the principles of reading English. Mother Yasoda, and she goes to take care of the milk, and baby Krishna breaks the butter pot and is eating the butter. And then we have some sample of medium level books. So this is the story of Agasura. And as the books, each level of book, as I say, I just have a few samples here. Each level of book is slightly higher than the one before it. And we look at 20 different considerations to make each book. What kind of sound spelling is there? What is the vocabulary? The sentence structure, the punctuation, the number of lines per page, the kind of font, the size of the font, the relationship to the illustration, the concepts that are being taught. So all of these things are looked at in order to make sure that it is the right level. And here we have another one. This is about farming with oxen. This was all photographed at the Jivaram Maharaj's farm in Hungary. If you want a really good picture, we'll take this one. This is at the end of the hard day of work. The oxen go to sleep, and the farmer is also sleeping. And this is the highest level book I have to display. This is the story of the yogi who turns the mouse into a cat and into a dog and finally back into a mouse. Now, they're not just storybooks. Each of the books has a book like this to go with it. This gives full instruction for parents and teachers. And this makes it, there's 42 color books and 42 of these books. There's a guide for the whole series. There's also a book for teaching the alphabet. And this gives many different activities for the children to do, and all instructions for the adults. And then it teaches you how to teach the book. Now, we first published a few of these books as an experiment 2 years ago. We took 6 of the books. We published 400 of each. That's 2,400 books. In 2 days, we sold 1,000 of them. And it came to the attention of one commercial publisher who taught us how we could put language into the books. Because although the books are to teach English, we also wanted it to be available to people who did not have English as their native language, or people who wanted to learn other languages. So there's this computer in a pen, and it can allow you, thank you so much, I hope your hand isn't getting tired. This can allow you to hear the books in 25 languages. So this will be ready, Krishna willing, on Janmashtami. So right now I only have 2 demonstration books, and I can only demonstrate 4 languages, but I think you will get the idea. So you can hear...
How much is the device of the computer pen?
The full program, 83 books plus 3 pens, will be 195 British pounds. And that is just the cost of production of the printing, because all of the production costs were donated, 100%. Either the 200 people that worked on the program, either they volunteered their time, or people gave donations that covered it.